a pleasure to talk to you about this film. I just came out of it, and there is something so whimsical, magical about it that it makes it such a unique cinematic experience. From an acting point of view, did it feel that way as well?
It did. It felt like an old-style Hollywood movie making it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it felt like a tribute to Hollywood, a tribute to all sorts of characters that we've seen, silent cinema, superheroes, fantastic literature, so many references. Which one resonated the most for you? Which was the moment you enjoyed the most?
Oh, I just enjoyed the whole thing. It was just such fun. I felt like I was walking onto a soundstage in the 1940s with, maybe Spencer Tracy was going to come around the corner, and it was a throwback, and yet it was so contemporary and so necessary. But I mean, I said Guillermo understands how to use film to tell a story. Some directors don't. He speaks in film language, and this for me was I was quite surprised at how I think of Frank Capra, and I think of Guillermo del Toro, kind of the same sensibility. So.
Yeah, and the attention to detail. Let's talk about your studio, your character's studio, and everything in it that was so different and so carefully put there.
Yeah, no, it was. I wanted to move in. I thought, this is great, and and on top of this, he writes these great characters, these great people that have their own problems. Nobody is there just to serve the plot.
Other characters, yeah.
No, we have our own lives, and we get entangled up with Eliza, and it was just fun. Gosh, it was fun.
And he's Eliza's friend, father figure.
Yeah.
How would you describe him? A man. I like how he said that he wasn't sure that if he was born before or after his life should have started.
I know. He feels like he's of another time, and a gay man in the early *60s was not accepted. It's like he didn't belong here, and he doesn't know if it's better earlier or later. But it is. But Eliza, I didn't really come to appreciate her until about 2/3 of the film. I was still caught up in my own vanity, life, problems, and we all are, we're looking for love, looking for work, looking for acceptance, I think he says 5 or 6 times, I think this is some of my best work. It's like nobody else is saying it, so it's like, I think I'll say it. Yeah.
And probably by the time he does some of his best work, he doesn't realize and doesn't say
it's
it
right.
at all.
He gets back to being a real artist.
Yes, exactly, exactly. And this is what's great about this film, and it includes so many things. We're talking about acceptance, we're talking about difference, the '60s, the comic books, so much in it. Were you surprised about how well it was written and how well the narrative works, although it's got so much in the recipe?
It was. I think it's a masterpiece. I do. I think it is.
Too.
I've been in about 100 movies or so, and I've been in some great ones, but I've never been in anything like this, where it is, you just think, after I watched it, I thought, this may stand the test of time. This may be one of those pictures that just keeps on living, because it's special. It's just really special.
Yeah, and as you mentioned Frank Capra, and Guillermo del Toro is one of the most talented, imaginative directors that we currently have. What did you discover about him that you might have not expected?
I didn't know what to expect, because I really wasn't that familiar with his work. I'd seen Pan's Labyrinth, which I loved, but I hadn't seen Hellboy or any of the. Yeah. And I found him to be. Well, first of all, I love him. I just love him.
He's just such a great guy.
I don't know of anybody that doesn't love him.
True.
But there's really nothing. He's thought about most everything. I used to ask him questions to see if he has an opinion on something. He says, Guillermo, do you? And most things he's thought about. And when he says it, when he talks about it, you go, oh, that's interesting. But I love the way he directs, because he watches you. He doesn't look for something specific. He watches what you do, and he'll incorporate it into the movie, and he'll use it, and he'll. So even though it's all of his vision, he lets you bring what you have to his vision. He doesn't try to control it.
Yeah, and that's really great.
I just thought I just had more fun than it should be allowed.
And for all that was mentioned, as my last question, how important would it be for this movie to be recognized with award nominations? First, because it deserves it, and second, because more people will see it.
Well, those are always nice. I think for him it would be fabulous for him, because I think it deserves it. I think he deserves it. And I think Sally is just brilliant in it, and so yeah, sure, why not?